I'm laying face down in the dirt and the lion's on top of me, and how do I fight? I can't even move my arms.
Uppermost in my mind was getting her off of Jim, because I knew she was going to kill him. It was down to split seconds. We had gone at approximately 6 miles. It was getting late that day, 3 o'clock, and wintertime it gets dark early. So we decided we better go to the parkway and head down the road because that way we'd get to the car earlier.
One of the things we referred to going down is how lucky we were to be able to be up in such a gorgeous area and to be able to be enjoying it. I was just following Nell and we were hiking along. And then I said, that noise is closer. It's a strange sound. I should check. When I said that, the sound was real loud in the gravel behind me, and as I turned, I expected a bike. But instead, I had a mountain lion right smack in my face. When the mountain lion lunged, I jammed this arm into its mouth. It grabbed it, so it had me right there. Its paw that was up come over and got this arm, tore a big hole into here, tore me across here, and the other paw was down. So I swung over top of the claw to hit it in the head. I did, but it just touched it because it caught underneath my arm and ripped my arm open through here. Then it was hanging on my arm and started at me with all 4 feet of claws, which naturally I couldn't hold it, so I went down and it tore the top of my scalp off. That must be when I screamed out, because that stunned me.
I just started screaming. I picked up a log that must have been right there. I don't remember looking for a log or anything. And I had one that was about 4 inches in diameter, about 8 feet long. And it was wet, so it was heavy. And I picked it up. It was all I could do to lift it. And I thought, sure, that one blow to her, the lion, would be the end of it. But I just learned very quickly how tough and strong that a wild animal is. No matter how hard I hit her, she wouldn't let go. And all this time, she had a hold of Jim on his face, his scalp, his head. I knew he'd lost a lot of blood. I was afraid to look at his head. It was awful. I told him it didn't work, Jim, and I just didn't wait for an answer or anything. I got the log again and just started hitting her. It's all I had. Then he started talking to me. When he started speaking to me, it was like there was a lot to fight for, that he was going to be okay if we could just get her off of him. And I told him, fight, Jim, fight.
So I went around and I found his nose. It didn't care that I even stuck my fingers in his nostrils. And so I stuck them in and twisted it, just like thinking of a bull hurting his nose, and I twisted it with everything I had. And it really got mad with that. It did not like that at all. It jumped, took a hold of me in the mouth in the same place, grabbed me, and its teeth and mine were gritted together. And its eye is this close to me. Its pupil is round, and it turns into the cat's eye thing, but it's glaring at me as it did this. Then it shook its head from side to side, and it tore both here and here, here and here, split them on both sides out, tore the inside of my mouth down under to my chin down below, all loose. Immediately, it went right back onto my head. He's trying to crack my skull, and I kind of realized that, but it's a she, and she's also pausing just to lick on my head. So with this hand, I lunged with every ounce of strength I had because I was going to shove right through that eye. And I mean, it really hurt. Even though the adrenaline was flowing, my thumb really hurt when I did that. And it made it so mad. It was furious with that. And it let go of my head and it grabbed my neck. But I had shoved the pack and I had the pack pushed up in the straps into my neck. So it had the strap or part of the backpack and part of my neck. It punctured my neck and it was shaking my neck, trying to break my neck. That's when I told Nell to take my pin and put it in its eye and shove it in.
He said, "Nell, get the pen out of my pocket. Stab her in the eye." So I said, "What pocket?" And by then I'm desperate because I know we don't have a lot of time left. So he said, "My right one." So I got the pen and I tried to push it in her eye. Her eyes were closed, but I thought sure it would go right in her and that would do it. But the pen went in about an inch and then it was like you had hit rock. It just broke the pen. And it didn't bother her at all. So I took the log and went straight at her and took the chance of hitting Jim. And as it was, it hit her right in the head, right in the snout. And with that, she jumped to the side of Jim and she glared at me. I said, "Jim, she's got me. She's got me." And he raised up on his elbow, and then I looked at her, and I raised the log as high as I could and just screamed as loud as I could. And miraculously, she just looked at me and walked off. I knew we were lucky that he was still alive. But I also knew we had to get out of there. I could not leave him alone and go for help because all the blood around, I knew she'd come back. I went to him real fast. I said, "Jim, get up, get up." He said, I'm tired. I said, "I know, but we've got to go. We've got to get out of here." And I had no idea how far Jim could make it.
I was up to a jog for a moment or two, and enough that I could feel the piece of my scalp that was back there banging on me.
I laid him down a few feet from the road, and I said, "Cell phone won't work. We're just going to have to wait until a car comes." Finally, a car did come, and I ran out in the middle of the road, and I pointed to Jim, and I said, "I need help." I said, "Please, it's a mountain lion attack. Please, I need help." And he just drove around me and went on. And I said, "You know what, Jim?" I said, "The next car that comes, they're going to have to run me down because I'm not going to let the next one go by."
Well, if it wasn't for Nell, I wouldn't be here because there was no way that I was going to survive that on my own. I survived because my wife was a very wonderful person and very devoted, and that's how I survived, with us fighting together as a unit.